So we need to talk about eBay today. They've got updates coming out. They've changed the user agreement and many other things are going on right now. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about eBay for just a little bit here. It's the big topic of the day apparently right this minute. I've been bombarded with people sending me all types of different things left and right about some new initiative and some other things going on at eBay. We all know the user agreement's about to be changed and updated. They've got a new fall update coming out. Tons of people are complaining about sales issues and the whole works. We had a new glitch today that charged us $181 for one single packet that weighed 3 ounces. It's being fixed from what it looks like. So, you know, there's so many glitches, it's not even worth going into individual ones anymore these days. The bottom end, though, here is that eBay does what they do for their own basic interests. They're worrying about their own business. And what I do and what every single person out there should be doing is the exact same thing. Thinking about your business, your income, your revenue over anything else. For us, last year was the first year I didn't pay any attention to eBay during fourth quarter. I ignored everything going on. I didn't waste my thoughts on what they're changing, what they're gonna do, all the glitches or anything else like that. I just worked through it and kept going. And we did far better doing that, totally ignoring and not wasting any of our manpower, thinking, brain, emotions, or anything else with eBay or any other platform to say that matter there. And again, that's what worked for us. Is who cares what they're doing, what they're changing. They're gonna do what they're gonna do no matter what we say, across the board. I've had the video conferences with eBay. I've talked to head of seller support. I've talked to head of promoted listings. I've had, geez, a whole handful of people reach out to us from eBay throughout the years. I've had offers to have somebody come on my show from eBay and, you know, talk to the audience and answer questions. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just a waste of time in my personal opinion. I don't personally think eBay's out to get me or any specific person out there at all. I just think it's ineptness in general from those in charge of the company. I don't even hold customer service reps you know, to any standard of accountability for how they handle situations because they've got bosses and their bosses tell them what to do. You know, they're just following the rules and trying to keep their job and pay their bills just like everybody else. The biggest factor though is me thinking this as it's my business and I have to do what's most important for my business is I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Not at all. I've stopped doing that because of the terrible changes and things that eBay has done in the past. Right now I try to look up the word napkin in sold listings, ended listings on Terapeak, and I couldn't find anything unless I put quotes around it. And I've had people point out some terms and stuff on eBay's main search page that don't show up. So, I mean, there's just so much going on all the time. Is it worth me rushing out and calling and complaining to eBay and stuff about all this? What I find when I report an issue to eBay, half the time it's my fault. You did something wrong, or there's no glitch, or there's nothing going on. You must have did something. You know, or yeah, we'll look at it and then we never hear back from them. So again, it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my thoughts and brain power, as I said. The biggest factor, it's fourth quarter now. Don't be tying up your thoughts with, you know, what eBay is going to do, what they're going to do with this or that. The fall new update, there's nothing in there that's really hugely concerning. There's some things in the user agreement that they could use to go after certain folks, but, you know, I'm not worried about most anything I can see in there. I don't see anything that's going to help or hurt or hinder my business. Again, it all ties back to how they've changed the searches, and I think that's all the biggest problem there is with eBay. Now, I don't do any better if eBay does terrible. I have no ill harm to have eBay do bad or not make the revenue. There's nothing wrong with calling them out though when they do something stupid that's going to hurt people. But at the end of the day, if eBay does good, I do good. I used to be an eBay only seller, just like pretty much every single other big reseller out there or YouTuber out there, big ones that have been around for a while. I've been around since eBay was just first called eBay in the very first year, 20 plus years ago. Very long time ago we've been around, and for the most part, in the majority of the time we've been with eBay, they were very good about most everything back in the days. So, and we just pretty much stayed with eBay because that's all that was there. You never had to worry about where should I list something. It was just listed on eBay. That's all there was. My life was so much easier having one single site, one single place to deal with, one single anything. And if eBay was doing great and they didn't drop to number 3 past, down below Shopify or something, it would have been better for me. Everything that eBay does that hurts the platform, that hurts sales, that hurts the reputation is bad for me, it's bad for you, it's bad for everybody else out there. If eBay was doing great, I wouldn't have to be on, multiple revenue streams on every single spot I can think of getting a unique item out here, out there, going to specific sites that only deal with one type of item and things like that. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have had a need to do it. I wouldn't have had a need to waste the time to learn this or do that. But I've learned long ago as a general manager, as a regional manager, that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. If we hire somebody at a big corporation or something, or as a regional or a general manager, you hire somebody to work in your store, you want them to be able to do as many things as they can. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with somebody. You want to make sure they can help you out if somebody's missing here, somebody calls in this department, somebody calls in there. It's the same thing with not putting all your eggs in one basket with just eBay. You got to think about your revenue, your specific needs, and eBay isn't it for everybody or for every type of thing out there. For what I sell, eBay is a pretty much necessity of the picture here because there's a considerable amount of revenue still comes in. When I had a certain amount, down to a certain amount with eBay, then eBay wouldn't be worth it anymore. I've got it all, mathematically, figured out where it's going to be feasible, where my time would be better spent. And right now it still is better spent on eBay if I'm going to sell the same types of things I'm selling right now. And that's probably the case for a large majority of you. Poshmark and all the other platforms out there have their need, have their usefulness. People can make a living at these other sites, so there is options out there for some folks, for some things you do. For most people though, eBay is always going to be an option. eBay is always the headache, unfortunately. It used to be Amazon everybody complained and worried about, but listening to everybody talk out there in reseller world, it seems to be eBay, and almost never Amazon. With eBay, they're more strict on things. They're dinging people for things they've said, including ourselves, that we could sell, and then they ding us a couple months later for the second time after we were told it was okay to relist. So, that's the issue. If I had that happen on Amazon, I would have been able to have a time to fix the issue before I would have ever gotten dinged. Even if it was my second or third shot, as long as I'm doing the right thing and I had no intent, Amazon's very forgiving these days. In fact, they instigated a whole new program out there that if you violate said rule, you watch a little course on it, you'd answer a few questions at the end, and they'll remove that from your account. And that's on top of, the other little things that they give you time to correct on your own. We've been on Amazon, for 8 years or something, longer than that probably. But, again, eBay is the problem. You're wasting too much time if you're always worrying about what eBay is going to do or if they're trying to screw you. I don't, again, think eBay's trying to specifically screw anybody out there. I think their needs are for their own pocketbooks, their own board of directors, their own shareholders, and that's all they're concerned with. And if they can pump it out by selling less merchandise but getting more revenue from fees from us, that's fine with them because they're still producing for the folks that really super matter. The days of eBay being a mom and pop style of business where they were very friendly, it was fun and all that stuff are long gone for us. It's a means to the end, so to speak, because it does get us a decent amount of revenue. I still like the whole idea of eBay, and it started us in a business. I wouldn't have a new house, a big huge building for reselling an art studio on the property and all the other stuff that we got out of this. That all came from selling on eBay. eBay's given us the most income we've had from reselling in general overall. Of course they're not as relevant. I sell in multiple platforms. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Some things never are listed on eBay anymore. Coins, for an example. When eBay started telling us we had to pull the coins down, It had been so long that I found something else to do with them. Adult material had been so long I found something else to do with them. Quite a few other things. Black Americana, a large chunk of people stopped listing. You can't list certain books, you can't list certain this, you can't list certain that. eBay started dinging people for comic books, you know, all sorts of different things, even if it followed the rules. I know eBay has a secret banned items list that they won't show anybody, because I asked for them to verify what can I list on this after they told me first I could, then they said I couldn't, and on and on and on. They told me they couldn't tell me. I've had tons of other people tell me the same thing, that they would not give them information on what's not allowed to be listed on the site because that was company privileged information. It was internal documentation that they don't release, and on and on and on. All these reasons why they can't tell you what can't be listed on the site. So just to wrap it up, all the other clamor, all the other eBay this, eBay that, it's just wasting your time. You're not going to get anywhere with it. You're spinning your wheels going on. eBay's not going to change. We did eBay expressions for years until we realized nothing's going to happen. I've talked to all the folks at eBay. I've talked to executives. They blew us off on many legitimate reasons. We talked about the vast majority of resellers, what their issues are overall from all the people who, you know, reached out to us and all this stuff in the past, and it's never done a bit of good. We stopped doing eBay expressions. You know, I don't concern myself with wasting my time with trying to do anything with eBay, because I can't trust them at all anymore these days. They'll tell you one thing one day and the next tell you something completely different. And all the while they can ding you for any of these things they tell you, even if they told you you could, and the next day they say you can't. It's your fault. You know, so end of the day is I'm worrying about fourth quarter, my business, and not eBay, not Amazon, not anywhere else I'm listing. I'm just going about my business like, you know, none of that's going to be an issue for me. I can't change eBay. I can't change the policy. I can't change anything that they do there. There's only been one occasion I can think of in the entire history of me being on eBay, and that's, you know, 20 plus years where they ever changed route when so many people started throwing a fit. That goes way back to, you know, the amount of time it took you to be able to run a sales and markdown and promotions on items. In that case, it helped eBay because it allowed people to push promotions immediately from the time they listed an item, and eBay got more money out of it. So it helped eBay. It wasn't necessarily to help us, even in that case. You know, worry about your own business. Worry about getting stuff up for fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, for many businesses, it could be 70% of their entire yearly revenue can come in fourth quarter. That's toys and things like that mostly, but there's a lot of businesses, especially brick and mortar, that's the way it is. So don't waste your time on the dribble about eBay and eBay's going to do this and eBay's going to do that. Who knows what they're going to do? We can't control it. It's beyond what you should be spending your brain power on. You should be worrying about how to fix it, how to figure out how to sell stuff that eBay is not showing, or that the search results are so bad that, you know, buyers can't find the items anymore. That's what you got to be worrying about. Worrying about getting your items sold. What works for your personal store? eBay can push promoted listings all they want to us. It doesn't work for us. I won't use it. I don't recommend it for anything vintage and collectibles. If you're selling in flooded categories, you probably have to use promoted listings. And that's the fight to race to the bottom with promoted listings, because then you're bidding against people and the highest bid wins, so you're giving away more and more of your profits to hopefully get a sale. And I'm not going to play that game. You know, so don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just worry about what eBay's doing. Worry about what your business, your company's doing, your store's doing. Worry about how to figure out how to get past what eBay's doing to get your sales still coming in. For us, for the amount of effort I'm putting into my store, I'm fine with the revenue coming back out of it. Again, eBay isn't my only source of revenue. As I've said before, eBay has never paid me a dime. I've refused every call to have somebody on my show or to talk to, you know, somebody on a live thing so people could ask questions. I'm not interested in dealing with eBay because they've shown that I can't trust them at all. The majority of resellers on YouTube that I've seen have all had items taken down, hit, or some screwball things happen to them. Their account's been locked or their bank's been locked or something. So the majority of people out there that I've been pointed to, or people have shared information about, that all the resellers out there realized at some point after a big screw up at eBay that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You can't rely on just one platform anymore at all. That's the point. Spread yourself out. Make sure you've got multiple streams of revenue coming in if you want to succeed and last the long haul of this. If you want to be a reseller the rest of your life, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just worry about one site. Those days are long since gone to trust all of your money from a site that, you know, is more interested in helping themselves, which they should be, I would hope, but you've got to do the same thing. Think about yourself, your personal business. And if you just lock down and think about your business, what you can do, try everything out there, you will do better. You won't be tying up with bad thoughts in your head, thinking about, you know, what's going to happen next? What do I got to worry about now? Do the right thing, follow the rules to the best of your understanding, and you should do okay. That's your best take on this fourth quarter. Don't blow it. Get as much stuff up as you can. Make sure they're good pictures, good prices, and good keywords and titles, and you should be rocking, hopefully, for fourth quarter. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Rainbow Bright has a new cereal with fruit flavor and bright colors.
Colors? Let's see. New Rainbow Bright brand cereal. Sweet fruity rainbows of bright color. A yummy part of this complete breakfast. That aisle? Mirko! A gloom cloud. No match for Rainbow Bright. Oh, no.
We're full of colors.
Idiot, we hate color. No mirked out breakfast for us. Fruit flavor, colorful bites. Rainbow Bright.